Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. We are back today with issue 13, the Hachette partworks release, Titanic, the ship, the legend. Okay, so in today's magazine we have an article about being on a lifeboat. We have, again, further information about being helped onto the Carpathia and everything like that. Yet more information on the band. They quite like the band, old Hachette. Yep, that's the Veranda Cafe that was there. I'm sure that was on one side of the deck and the other side was the Palm Court, if I'm not mistaken. And again, there is the Musicians' Memorial. There. And then we're on to our instructions, which as always, the bit we like the best. So, I was going to next go on to talk about the parts, show you them, get my paints out and paint them all the right colour, because most of the parts we're getting in this issue are the wrong colour. Much like the front forecastle deck, a lot of it's been made of white plastic when they should be different colours. Lots of it bolt guns, some of it dark green. I've elected not to use the dark green on the winches on the forecastle deck. I painted them bolt gun just for my own aesthetic. However, this comes with issue 13. Important change of parts. So yeah. Due to a production problem, the Fairlead rollers, part 13E, and the winches, part 13G, supplied with this issue are the incorrect colour. Do not use glue to stick these parts in place. Replacements will be supplied with issue 21. Issue 21, who knows why. So basically, what I'm going to do is I have my forward well deck from the last issue. I'm just going to stick the parts in as they come. And then when the new parts come, I'll assess the colour and decide whether to paint the ones that come with this issue, paint the new ones, or whether to use the new ones in the colour that they come. I will assess that when the time comes. So for now, I'm just going to build it as it comes, and then when issue 21 appears, I'll see what changes, if any, I want to make. So just to clarify that. But as always, let's have a look at said parts. Okay. So here we have our box. It's a big one this time, but the majority of that we don't actually do anything with for this issue. As always, pop the other side. You can see, nothing else in there. I do that as much for my benefit as yours, so if there's something missing, I know I just haven't left it in the box. Unwrap the tissue paper. We have another lovely big section of keel. This one has a raised portion along there. Yeah, it looks very nice. But we're not doing anything with that in this issue. We then have some screws, which again we're not using, and we have the plastic parts. So let's get the plastic parts out the bag. Excuse me. So yeah, the two screws that come with this issue, well, the three, but one of them's a spare. They'll be kept with the hull piece and they'll be used in a future issue. So here we have the smaller plastic pieces contained in here. So we have these storage boxes. I think they're actually meant to be steps. That's them. We then have the large air vent, which they've been kind enough... Thought I was going to say they've been kind enough to give us a spare, but they haven't. They're two small air vents. And these are the Fairlead rollers. Now these should either be black or bolt gun, depending on how you're doing your colour scheme. We then have the bits, which are bolt gun. That is the large air vent. Now again, the very bottom of that should be a kind of orangey colour, because if you've seen Titanic, you'll know that on the inside of the well decks there was a kind of, it was a half and half paint scheme. The bottom half of the exterior walls were a kind of orangey yellow colour, and the top part was white. It looks like, from what I've seen so far, that it's all going to be white in this, so if I want that belt line, I'm going to have to paint it myself. I've seen quite a few people have already started doing that with the bits they've already got. And these are the winches, which again, they're the wrong colour. They should be either dark machinery green, which is kind of similar to this, which is what I was going to use. But as I say, I'm going to wait and see what the colour the replacements are when they come. But those are all the parts we have. This is the deck section we need. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first parts we need are the bits, as they call them. And they're going in the outermost holes here, 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 and here. And again, these are just a push fit. They do fit reasonably well, they're not going to fall out. Again, I'm always a bit dubious of gluing anything in with this build because of the number of times I've been told, yeah, these are all going to be the wrong colour. Because from what I've heard from the French edition, when they send you out the replacement parts for the well deck, they're also sending replacement parts for the forecastle deck, having realised they were the wrong colour as well. But yep, that is the bits all in place. So what's next? Turn the page. Okay, the next thing we're putting in is the large air vent, which is this piece here, and it's going in the middle hole between the two hatch covers. So it goes in like that, a little bit downwards force, and a rotational motion will get it in nicely. Make sure it's in straight, and don't break the tab off the bottom, because this bit isn't getting replaced. The next two pieces, however, they are the fair lead rollers, and they are the wrong colour. As I say, I would paint them, but I'll see what colour the replacements are when they send them out. Right, I can't get my fingers in there particularly well, so I'm going to use my tweezers. And they go in facing bow to stern with the two, as you can see, it looks almost like a candelabra, and the two extrusions face bow to stern as opposed to port to starboard. So line it up with a hole, push it down, perfect, and the same with the other one, easier to turn it around. Again, the lower down you can grab it, the better, because it gives you a better leverage to push it down into the hole, just like that. Make sure they're both straight, which they are. Now remember, these are the ones you don't want to glue in, because you can see there, they're not quite sitting straight, so I'll fix them in a second. But you're not wanting to glue these in because there are replacements coming. Okie dokie, so I'll just tidy these up and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so there's a very good reason they weren't going in. If you look on the bottom, I don't know if you can see, but there is a small key on one side, meaning you can only put these in one way. Yep, I didn't notice that because of the way the shadow was sitting. It means that if you try and force it in the other way, it just simply will not go in. But it goes in perfectly the way it's supposed to, like that. It must just have been luck that I got the first one in, but yeah, that's what they look like, albeit the wrong colour. Okay, and next we're putting the winches in, and they're going in with the, it looks almost like a hobby horse, doesn't it? And if it is a hobby horse, it's going with the handles pointing towards the hatch, but you can only put it in one way, because as you can see, one tab is bigger than the other. So again, line these up, push them in, a nice snug fit. Again, these are going to be changed as well. Perfect. Okay, now next it is the two smaller air vents, and they are going into these two holes here. Now bear in mind that they don't go all the way down. This peg at the bottom is slightly stepped, so don't try and push them all the way down, just go to the bottom of the peg. So if you try to push them all the way in, you're going to snap them. But they look like that when they're in. And the final pieces to be added are the two steps, and they go, again, sorry, I need to turn the page. Yep, they go right at the front. Again, they have a big peg and a small peg, so you can't get it wrong. Well, you probably could, but you'd break the pegs off. So there we go, that goes in just like that. And I'm assuming that's the step to get up to the other side of the forecastle deck, looking from the way around it's going. Okay, so that is us for issue 13. As I say, there will be some slight changes coming in issue 21, where those two bits will come in a different colour, and these two bits as well will come in a different colour. Yeah. So these bits are being kept for another issue, but that is how the forward well deck is looking. There isn't too much to be added. A couple of bits here and one bit there, and some small detailing along there, but I don't know when that will be done. But yeah, that's how that's looking. Looks not too bad. Even stock, it looks okay. As I say, I was going to paint them, but if they're sending bits out in the right colour, I'll wait to see how they look when they come. So that concludes issue 13. As you can see, that is what the forward well deck is looking like now. That was quite good. As I say, it'll be even better once they send the parts out that are the right colour. So for issue 14, we're going to be working on the first of the boat deck housings, and also the mounting point for the first funnel. I believe that is the officers' quarters. So we're going to have the decking to stick down. Again, I'll be gluing that down, and we have some more detailing pieces that will be going on the top of there. Now, I will be adding some detail to those bits because a lot of them are air vents and they're just stark white. So there would at least be a black portion where the venting was taking place. So I will add them in, add a bit of detailing, never any harm in that. But yeah, so that's all for issue 13. I do have issue 14, 15 and 16 here with me just now. So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you like this video, leave me a like. Any comments, complaints or criticisms, drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you all for issue 14. Thank you all for watching, and as always, ladies and gents, peace out everyone.